You think you know Princess Catherine? Graceful, generous, and genuinely kind. But behind the royal wave is a record no one's beaten in decades, a scar the palace won't explain, and a stunt too dangerous to finish. Here are 10 surprising facts the royals never advertised. Fact 10. The dragon boat race. She dared to join. Picture this. The Princess of Wales, not in pearls, not in pumps, but in sports gear, gripping a paddle like she's about to win the Fast and Furious Maritime Drift Edition. Back in the late 2000s, Princess Catherine joined an all-female dragon boat crew with one mission: to power across the English Channel. That's 21 miles of cold, choppy water, unpredictable weather, and arm-burning paddling. No, this wasn't some charity photo op where you smile for the cameras and go home. The crew trained for weeks, building endurance and synchronizing strokes. The goal? A record-breaking charity crossing that would prove these women could crush it on the water. But just as the big day drew closer, Kate had to pull out, reportedly over security and safety concerns. Translation: the future queen can't exactly disappear into rough seas without sending Buckingham Palace into a 999 emergency line. Even though she didn't make the crossing, the fact she was willing to train for it at all proves one thing: Princess Catherine isn't afraid of a challenge, as long as MI5 signs off first. Fact 9. A childhood in Jordan. Wait, you thought Princess Catherine's story started in a quiet English village? What? Try the streets of Amman, Jordan. From age 2 to 4, little Catherine wasn't building sandcastles on British beaches. She was literally building them in the desert heat. Her dad's job with British Airways had the whole Middleton family packing up for the Middle East, where Kate toddled off to a local nursery school, surrounded by a culture and language completely different from the one she'd grow up with. It's the kind of early chapter that almost never gets talked about, but it quietly shaped her worldview. Because before she ever wore a tiara, Princess Catherine was a globe-trotting toddler soaking in a whole other world. And maybe that's why she's so good at navigating the very different world of royalty today. Fact 8. The Chutney gift that won the queen. Forget diamond necklaces or priceless art. When Princess Catherine spent her first royal Christmas at Sandringham in 2011, she brought chutney. Not just any chutney either, her grandmother's own recipe, made in her own kitchen. Now imagine the pressure. Your gift for the most famous monarch on earth is a jar of homemade preserves. This could either be charming or career-ending. Kate later admitted she was nervous it might seem too normal for royal standards. But the next day, as the family sat down for the traditional Boxing Day lunch, she spotted something on the table: her chutney. The queen had made sure it was served for everyone to enjoy. It wasn't about the taste, though we're betting it slapped. It was about the gesture. In a family where protocol is everything, that jar of chutney was quietly saying, "You're one of us now." And honestly, that's more powerful than any royal decree. Think you've heard it all? Wait until you hear the story behind the scar she's never fully explained. Stay tuned. Fact 7. Royal beekeeper in disguise. When she's not at official engagements or wrangling 3 royal kids, Princess Catherine has a surprisingly buzzworthy side hustle. She's a beekeeper. Out on the grounds of Anmer Hall, the family's Norfolk estate, Kate keeps her very own hive, and we're not talking about a for-show hobby either. She harvests the honey herself. In 2021, during a visit to the Natural History Museum, she even brought jars along to share with a group of school children. Imagine sitting in class and the future queen strolls in like, "Hey kids, I made you breakfast from my bees." It's more than just a cute pastime. It ties into her environmental work and her push for sustainability. Beekeeping supports pollinators, which in turn support the food chain. It's eco-activism in a jar. So while the tabloids focus on her tiaras, somewhere in Norfolk, there's a hive full of royal bees working overtime. Fact 6. The wedding dress you never saw. Everyone remembers Princess Catherine's Alexander McQueen wedding gown. The lace sleeves, the sweeping train, the way it instantly became one of the most iconic bridal looks in history. But Princess Catherine didn't spend her entire royal wedding day in just that famous Alexander McQueen gown. For the evening reception at Buckingham Palace, she changed into a second Alexander McQueen dress, a strapless satin gown with a sweetheart neckline, sparkling belt, and a cropped Angora bolero. It was a more relaxed but still ultra-glam look, perfect for a night of dancing and private celebrations with friends and family. No global TV cameras, no balcony waves, just the new Duchess, her new husband, and 300 of their nearest and dearest. It's a reminder that even the most public royal moments have a second private chapter, and in this case, a whole new dress to go with it. Fact 5. The piano performance that shocked the world. Eurovision 2023 had all the glitter, fireworks, and questionable outfit choices you'd expect, but no one was ready for this cameo. As the opening sequence rolled, viewers suddenly saw a familiar figure seated at a grand piano in the opulent crimson drawing room of Windsor Castle. Princess Catherine. No press release, no advance hype, just the Princess of Wales casually playing alongside Ukraine's Kalush Orchestra, last year's winners. The performance had been filmed in secret weeks earlier under tight security. Even royal watchers were stunned because while we've seen Princess Catherine wave, smile, and give speeches, watching her play piano live on one of the world's most flamboyant stages, totally new territory. It wasn't just a feel-good moment, it was a cultural signal. Eurovision was hosted in the UK on behalf of Ukraine, and this royal cameo was a quiet show of solidarity wrapped in an unexpected talent flex. Turns out, behind the poised public image is someone who can drop into a global music broadcast like it's just another diary entry. And honestly, she nailed it. But if you think that was her biggest surprise, just wait. There's one detail about her that even the palace won't fully explain. Fact 4. The princess is allergic to horses. In the royal family, horses aren't just animals. They're practically a requirement. From polo matches to trooping the color, the monarchy is basically sponsored by the equestrian world. So here's the plot twist. Princess Catherine is allergic to horses. She admitted it herself years ago, explaining that being around them makes her uncomfortable. Not exactly ideal when your in-laws are literally riding down the mall in full regalia. But instead of dodging every event with a horse in sight, Kate's taken the slow burn approach. She keeps showing up. Polo games, ceremonial parades, even events where the stables are just a few feet away. She's reportedly trying to build up a tolerance over time, which, to be fair, is a pretty gutsy move when you're in a hat and heels. It's a very unroyal kind of problem with a very royal solution: smile, wave, and quietly out-stubborn the allergy. Because in this family, the horses always be part of the picture, and so will she. Fact 3. The deep-sea royal diver. When most people think of royal pastimes, they picture garden parties and ribbon cuttings, not plunging nearly 100 feet underwater into potentially dangerous conditions. But Princess Catherine is a certified PDI advanced open water diver, which means she's trained to dive to around 30 meters, 98 feet. That's the kind of depth where sunlight fades, the water gets cold, and mistakes can turn serious fast. She reportedly earned the qualification as part of her love for the ocean, matching Prince William's own diving credentials. It's not just a casual dip in the shallows either. Advanced divers learn navigation dives, deep dives, and often encounter marine life most people only see in documentaries. In short, while the world sees a princess in pearls, there's also a woman who can suit up in neoprene, strap on a tank, and drop into a world where few royals or people ever go. Fact 2. The school record no one has beaten. Before she was making headlines for royal engagements, Princess Catherine was making headlines on the school sports board. Back in the 1990s at St. Andrew's School, she set the high jump record at 1.5 meters. That's just under 5 feet. And here's the kicker. Decades later, no one's beaten it. Not a single student has managed to clear her mark. It's easy to forget that Kate's always been sporty, hockey, tennis, running, but this little fact cements her as a legit athlete, not just a ceremonial ribbon cutter. The record isn't just about height, it's about explosive power, timing, and sheer grit. So next time you see her in heels and a tailored coat, remember, underneath all that royal polish is someone who could probably still jump over your head and make it look effortless. Fact 1. The scar the palace won't explain. In 2011, during a royal engagement, cameras caught something unusual just beneath Princess Catherine's perfectly styled hair. A 3-inch scar running along the left side of her hairline. It wasn't makeup, it wasn't a shadow, and the palace quickly confirmed it was from a childhood surgery, before shutting down any further questions. That's where the intrigue began. Medical experts, without examining her, of course, speculated it could be from a serious procedure, possibly something neurological. Others guessed it might be related to removing a birthmark or benign growth. But in the royal world, speculation is as far as you'll get. The British monarchy guards personal health information like state secrets, so the real story behind that scar may never be made public. And maybe that's why it's so fascinating. In an era where every celebrity overshares, the future Queen of England still has mysteries she's not telling, and this one is hiding in plain sight. So, there you have it. From royal beekeeping to hidden wedding secrets, from record-breaking jumps to a scar the palace won't explain. Princess Catherine might be the picture of royal composure, but behind the scenes, she's full of surprises. If you had a what moment in this video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next royal deep dive. And when you're done here, check out our next video. Trust me, it's just as jaw-dropping. This is the What channel, and we'll see you next time.